Okay, that's your little Easter egg for today for YouTube video watchers. Let me also turn the audio up. I realize it's very low. Okay, there you go. Anyways, little Easter egg, I guess. Little thumb piano, I think that's what it's called. I got it in a road trip with my dad. It's a nice little memento of that little occasion. I enjoyed it greatly. But anyways, I'm assuming if you're here, personal little trivia like that may not be the most interesting of things. No, if you're here, I imagine you're here for some game deving, some coding. And today is, I don't know, it's gonna be another day. So you can do some work, do the mundane stuff, do some stuff that I wasn't planning to do on stream, but I'm just like, you know, I need to fix these problems, so we're gonna just do the boring stuff here, and I don't know, we'll see what we can do. Alright, I'm gonna play the mix. You know what? If I'm gonna be real with you, I kind of don't want to play the atmospheric stuff right now. I want to do my not normal, but my more upbeat, chill video game music track. I'm starting to work on a little mix for what should we call it? The fall season for autumn. But I'm not trying to rush it. There's something about the finality of burning a track onto a CD that makes you kind of consider the music that you choose and listen to a bit more carefully. So, yeah, I'm finding myself not trying to rush it. I'm going to curate the songs I find to be the most tasteful for what I'm trying to aim for, and maybe next stream I'll have that mix ready, because this is already starting to feel like this autumn season. So, we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to put the track on, first track. I'm going to press and play. And I think we're just going to get to work. What's up, Priyansa RL? Good to see you here. I think this might be the first time I've seen you in chat. So make yourself comfortable. Hope you enjoy. Why am I zipping this up? Why am I zipping up this up? We're going to be changing music throughout this. Anyways, but yeah, we're gonna just getting started here. Putting on some groovy tunes, man. We're gonna start doing some debugging. Cool. I actually did some work on my laptop, but I don't think I'm gonna push that. I think we're just gonna rock with what we have here. Continue from last time, because it was mostly just debugging things. But I have some ideas now. Some ideas about what certain bugs may be. So let me do some stuff real quick here, and we'll get into it. I'm working on a 2D walking simulator where the map is my college campus, and I was waiting for you to go online so I can ask for some ideas on that. If possible, I'm learning Unity for that. For a 2D game, with Unity, ideas in terms of implementing or the design or whatnot, what kind of game we're making, I'll show you what we got right now. Let me show you where we left off last time. Okay, so yeah, I've been around. But yeah, let me try to clarify that. Like, if we're talking about in the realm of technical ideas about how you'd go about implementing it and learning Unity, or if we're talking in the realm of whatchamacallit, design ideas. But yeah, so we have the fog working, we have the objects being drawn correctly now, which is pretty sick, pretty cool. And now what I want to work on is this door transition actually going to other levels. It turns out I think my animation or my little program animation slider thing actually works correctly. So I'm going to enable that and show you. Because right now we're trying to go to a door, and then you should be able to press a button and then begin the transition of going to the next level. And to answer your question, Michael, this is the game I'm working on. It's a 2.5D pixel platformer. Yeah, and we're just doing some work to try to make it better before I start getting into producing some levels and getting ready for the play test I want to do hopefully this week. I'm trying to get this ready for this week, which is why I'm going to probably shift gears a little bit. But anyways, so let me actually, because I found something interesting that might be helpful, which is that the animation kind of begins but doesn't finish. And let me find my camera render pipeline or camera. Also, I think my CRT might be dying, dude. I'm not sure because it wiggles around and does some weird things, so it makes me a little bit concerned. But I mean, at the same time, that might be an excuse to get some more, because I'm not going to open up a CRT and try to fix it. I'm scared of that. I don't want to die. There's people who know how to do it. I'm not one of those people. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. Hopefully you don't mind the music volume being lowered down a little bit. Okay, so now when we go, it's a really interesting effect. I wonder if it happens here, because I was testing this on a Windows 11 machine on my laptop. I'm using DirectX, and I wonder if OpenGL is gonna be the same way. I go in here, yeah, the animation plays, but if I turn around and start moving, is all black. There we go. The depth, the fog overdraw is still happening, even though the whole screen is still stuck in this mid-transition point, which is kind of cool, actually. Not intended, but it's kind of cool that like the animation plays and then all of a sudden we're in this bizarro world. Yeah, that's pretty sick. But also means that I probably want to unify this volumetric fog shader thing I have with the one I currently have within the pipeline, so that this transition composite is the final thing that's drawn and not the shade, the fog. But isn't this kind of cool though? Like, it's kind of cool seeing this work, or seeing this happen. But yeah, the transition we're gonna have to figure out. And I think the issue here is that the transition starts, but it doesn't get to the finish line. It doesn't do the thing it was meant to do. So it never gets there. It never does the opposite of the transition. It never loads level, or at least I don't think it's loading level. It's not loading the level, so we're gonna be figuring that out a little bit. There's some more graphic stuff to think about and deal with, but we will deal with that later. We shall deal with that later. That is for future consideration. No, I didn't use any Cinemachine. Yeah, I'm not using any of those packages. Hand implemented. With this whole raycast business of like detecting if you're clipping and then having an offset. There's some weird jankness I still need to fix with it, but I don't know, like I think there's only one game project that I worked on that had used Cinemachine, which was like Cooking Daddy, which was forever ago for the main menu, but that's like more for on rails type things to my understanding. Like it works better if you're doing like fixed camera progressions, but for something like this where it's going to be, you want to have very tight controls, not tight controls, you want to have not only tight controls but also like a large degree of freedom. It's kind of nice to hand roll it yourself, even though like, you know, I know like certain engines like Unreal have their own spring arm thing that does that, and I'm imagining Unity probably has their own thing like that somewhere, or someone has a package like that, but it's always kind of fun to do it. But yeah, would help now, Aaron. I think a bigger monitor would actually hinder. I think a bigger monitor would be a big issue. Yeah, I think I want to move. There's some things I want to do, like this whole, not the camera, we're not going to deal with that today. unless I decide to actually implement the cast shadows for point lights, which would be kind of cool actually. But yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Yeah, this whole shader, I think I'd probably move it into this class, in this CGNC file here at some point, but we'll get there eventually. Has a collision feature that does that. What version of Unity are you using though? I'm using a compromised version of Unity. Or the one with that that bug that was found. I don't know, 2020 point something, 2022 point something. It's pretty old, if I'm gonna be real with you. I need to do an update at some point. I think I stopped doing updates because of that whole provision thing, but I don't know. But yeah. One second. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's clear out of this a little bit because I don't want to focus on things that are not relevant. We're not dealing with the player jump thing today. We're not doing that. Drop shadow is acceptable for now. Occlusion manager seems to be working largely as intended, so I'm not going to even worry about that. Volumetric shader, again, not going to worry about this right now, I don't believe. Though I'm thinking there's a few optimizations I'm thinking about doing, but we'll worry about that later. Tags, not really relevant right now. Those for the fog ignore stuff, and we're not doing that. Fim, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want your updates. I'm content with how I am right now. And I'm scared. There's like some idea Vim bugs that get introduced, or maybe by writer versions. I'm not sure. One of those two things updated, and it created a weird bug no one else found. No one else had it, and it was like the most bizarre thing to describe in a debug, and it kind of defeated me because I ended up just doing another rebind to cope with it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Why your viewport square? Why is yours not square, dog? Yeah, I'm using Linux. Thank you, Young Flame. I'm glad you dig it. Just subbed. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Much appreciated. Much love. Camera. Why must you turn off after 30 minutes? Why did the tax policies do this to you, camera? I'm gonna honestly skip this song. I like Mega Man 8 music, but yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I should do a flat response. That feels right. Okay. What was I looking for? Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. We're not doing the fog ignore stuff. We're gonna do a class consolidation later. Let's actually look at the things we're looking for, which is the transition animator, which I believe is here. And we have this class, not class, function here. That does this whole yield return wait for different transition requests, where we start a transition and it plays the fade in animation, one for playing the fade out animation. I think this is, I'm not sure if this is for when, oh, this is when you want to do a full cycle thing. So you start the transition to fade in, we wait for the desired amount of time, then we play the fade out one. And then this should invoke, ooh, is this? Is that what? Well, let's see first, because like, yeah, because it's going to invoke the actions here anyways. Okay. I would be tempted to do like breakpoints, but as I've come to learn with this setup is that breakpoints are kind of weird. the IDE just kind of breaks sometimes, or something with my compositors. I don't know. It's a Magnavox. That's what my monitor is. A Magnavox Color Display 40. So it's a game, right? Yeah, I'll show you. It's not out. We're still working on it. Yeah, we're still chugging along, trying to get some work done, dude. I have a version, like a prototype, that's on Newgrounds that's playable. But that's not like indicative of the final thing, nor is like their actual, like the story of that's not going to be canon to what the actual story is going to be. But it was something that just kind of validated that, hey, the things I've built so far does work and can be an experience for people, an experience. But I found from the feedback, there's quite still rough edges I need to polish out. So yeah, so I'm trying to work on the first like thing for a Discord playtest session this week. I'm aiming to have it done this week. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but I'm trying to have it done for this week. We'll see though. Which, by the way, the Discord's in the link in the description of this video, so if that interests you, it's gonna be there. Yeah, we're using Unity, Michael, and C#. In the future, no, not really. I prefer just to release the game as is, like, done. Or at least as done as I believe it can be, and then if I want to maybe add additional content later or whatnot, like. But I want the whole, at least single player experience to be completely done and like polished and out. Like that would be the requirements for me to put it out. Okay. So what are we gonna do here? What shall we do here? The biggest thing that changes is we probably did a lot of changes because I got rid of this whole transition, the need for this for actually I'm kind of curious now. Because I think the complete thing works fine for resetting. In fact, let's test that out. If I add like a hazard to the level and I die, let's see if that works. Because if that works, then that means there's just an issue with the start and end thing. Like either I'm not calling the end one, because I was trying to do asynchronous level loading. That's the thing. Yeah, I wanted to do level loads to be asynchronously done so that I can have animations and things like of that nature playing in the game. Okay, do I have a hazard object here? I believe I do. Death volume, I believe. Yep. Drag that bad boy right there, right quick. Yeah, sure, Bob. That looks like a death volume to me. Looks fire. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Multiplayer 2. I'm thinking about it. The thing is, I want to have multiplayer, but I need to find some meaningful design so that it doesn't feel like just tacked on or pointless. I sort of also realized that I don't have a checkpoint, but it's okay. Yeah, no reference exception because there's no checkpoint set, of course. So what we're going to do instead is throw in a checkpoint. Yeah, and I need to do some investigation because like I'm like I need to find, oh my goodness, why am I zoom? What happened? What happened here? Oh, I'm in the prefab. Yeah, I was confused for a second. Yeah, here we go. But yeah, I need to look at different options like Miro or Proton or whatnot for network solutions, or maybe like try doing my own thing because part of this is I'm a big ethos or pathos of this game, the emotional component. Yeah, I don't think it's either. I don't think that actually applies to ethos or pathos. The fundamental thing that's been kind of driving this game is that, hey, I'm gonna do things the hard way. Why is it so small? and it's going to help me learn a bunch of different things. So like, geez, what happened? Oh, I undid it. That's why. So the complete thing works. So start and end is the one that doesn't work. Interesting. It's so small. All these are so baby small. But yeah, so with that in mind, it almost feels like, yeah, difficult, sure. But I think it would be far more beneficial to me to like write my own network thing. But we'll see. Okay, so I'm beginning to believe that this has to do with this start and end thing, because I'm not doing a complete cycle. I'm starting it and then trying to invoke the end transition once the level is loaded. So I think this is in our little murder investigation, because it feels like we're investigating a crime that's been done. I'm starting to understand and see where the culprit may be. For color matching, just for fun, man. I'm using Ubuntu Phantom with i3. What's up, Ping Pong? Love the setup. Thank you, Andrew. The genius is live again. Dude, you're absolute legend, Mize. I wouldn't call myself a genius, but I appreciate it, man. I will say this, like, if you may think I'm a genius, but you can very well get to my point. Or maybe not even my point, because like honestly, the field of knowledge for programming and all this kind of stuff is pretty wide. So like, maybe a different metric of measuring that is less so like getting to where I am at, and much more like if we have like, come on, yeah, I don't know, like a general axis or just like a number line of like, I know axes make sense, of like, I don't know, let's say competency, but then like the x-axis is going to be fields or areas. Like if you, like, I may be here because this is my line of interest, and like you might take a different path to what interests you, right? But you can totally get to like a same level of competency or proficiency in it, even if your path looks different. So like, don't think that I'm far removed from you. You can definitely take a path to get to this same, I don't know, place, or surpass me. Because I don't know, I've seen genius. I've encountered genius out in the wild, and I definitely do not feel like one of those people. So I'm someone who's actively trying to get into Unity. What's the biggest tip you can give me? Give a starter? Oh brother, I don't even know, man. Like you're gonna just have to get. I don't know. There's a general advice that's very applicable to anything, which is just set a goal and then like set a general short-term goal and then try to get to it. Like, I don't know, a game of some sort that you have in mind. Because like it's very easy to get stuck into tutorial hell where you just do tutorials if your goal is just that. But if you have a goal, you're gonna be taking tutorials that are not the goal in of themselves, but are stepping stones toward what you want to do. And then I don't know. Outside of that, like, please don't do GameObject.find. That's .find. That's pretty bad, pretty rough. Just avoid that. But I don't even think that's that big of a deal in your learning process. But professionally, I would advise against using that kind of stuff. Outside of that, I don't know. Just understand game objects, classes, structs, what a mono behavior is, what a component is, and all that good stuff. But the biggest advice is just doing projects. So we go to level and then find people who are smarter than you. So surround yourself with people who are very knowledgeable, because they're going to know the things that you don't know, and they're going to enlighten you a little bit or give you little nuggets of information you can investigate. Level, get module. and we publish that we're doing something. We're starting the animation, and we call after start. We call this load new scene function. Is this getting called? Let's even say that. Like, is this even getting called? Again, I would like to use. I would like to use breakpoints, but last time it kind of held us hostage because of this. I think the UI broke or something with Rider. Oh no, it had to do with my cursor getting locked. So I think if I want to use it, I have to like remove that. Honestly, why not do that? Nani? Older projects online of what? Undergrounds. Oh yeah, thank you. Smash is his. That's pretty cool. I saw someone recommended on a video a couple days ago. Maybe that's why. Wait, what? Are people mentioning me outside of this bubble? That's kind of odd to me. Also, what's going on in the Discord? What are you guys doing in there? Oh, good to see you, Prioncito. Hopefully I said it right. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. Hope you enjoy your stay. But yeah, let me get back to the YouTube. What's up, Summer? How are we doing? Okay, we're gonna risk it. I'm gonna go back to the player real quick. We're gonna get rid of some stuff here. I really want to do some get back to level design things and game mechanic stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that I keep thinking like, I don't think I have that much to do, and then I remember, oh yeah, there's a lot to do, like getting this state buffer thing probably happening at some point. No, but I'm looking for the cursor lock. Here we go. Yeah, that's the thing I think that screwed us up last time with breakpoints. So we're gonna go back here. We go back to our transition animator, and we're just gonna walk through what happens when we just call load scene. So we're gonna call this publishes active scene unload. Actually, before I even go into there, let's just go to level here. I mean, the jank thing, if I want to get this ready for this week, so you guys can play in the Discord, or play test this game in the Discord, I might just make this synchronous again. Which it feels like a defeat, dude. It feels like a defeat. I don't like that, but that's like the worst case scenario we do that. This publishes. I believe this is gonna happen synchronously, so I should be able to just step through this and see what gets called and go from there. Add some debugging. Yes, I understand. Enable for this session. Also, Morgan, thank you. I didn't mention it, but thank you, Morgan. It's good to see you here again, and gosh, just running point on the common questions. I appreciate it. What's app happening here? We're making a game right now. Isn't that monitor too far from your eyes? It will damage your sight, man. Focus on text? Nah, dude. That's a skill issue on my part. This guy streamed 2002 out of 2025. Oh, dude. He was probably have American, have eagle eyes. No, I have really bad prescription eyes already. I have like -9s with glasses and -8.5, I think, with contacts. It's pretty rough. It's so cool. Thank you, cute dog. Loves veggies. With C# Unity? What, like Linux or Ubuntu i3? I mean, there's some jank here and there. The biggest jank is the audio situation. I don't know why my audio got busted from Windows to here, but we're gonna have to figure that out at some point. I need to figure out what's the deal. Cause like even Unity's like, I'm not even gonna try to repair that audio, dude. You're just on your own, man. Man, I miss Spiral Knights. I kind of want to play Spiral Knights on stream. Okay, we're gonna go here. We're gonna press the button. We're stepping through it. Okay. So what's going on here? Magic Man. Magic Man. All right, we're going to step over. Message broker. We're going to step... do I want to step into? Okay. We construct this thing. Yeah, we construct these fields. They're all null. Duration is set. On end, what happens? Is null. Override is false. Did I describe? I should really describe this. I know what override does now. I remember it. But I should really document my code better, dude. I should probably do that. Okay. So that's the publish function. And then we go into the publish implementation. Oh my goodness, no, let's not step over. Step out. Step out. I don't want to go into the implementation of a dictionary. I don't need to know that. Ooh, I should have stepped in now and actually... Oh, dang it, dang it. Dang it. Okay. Okay. Let's set a more specific thing. Because I have a very specific question in mind as far as this implementation is concerned. Which is not necessarily this, but if we ever get into this after start. Okay, we have to check to see if after start is called and if this function is invoked anywhere. We're gonna put just a little breaky pointy right there. Breaky point. Breaky poo. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Just gets lost in coding. Oh yeah, my bad. What's going on here, Genly? Kalimba solo. Sweet. I'm new here. Can you explain your setup like that? Or why your setup is like that? Because it's for fun, man. I needed a little different, something different from my day job. Who don't give a damn about self-ego. Busy by put a damn picture. No, it's okay, Noter. I probably have some icons or some YouTube accounts somewhere with no icons. It's okay. How much did it cost? Like $50 at a festival for vintage stuff. You'll find 4 of those monitors. Yeah, for real. Honestly. Or, you know, Facebook Marketplace or whatnot. There's options. How old are you? Almost 30. Yo, what's up, Josh? It's good to see you, man. The Joshua Ambrosio. Guys, this guy... Dude. If you guys want like a good video about music and fighting games, if those two things interest you, he has a great video on his channel I'd recommend checking out. But also, like, dog, he did some sick Fmod dynamic audio stuff for Crimson Crown. That's the boy. That's the guy. He took my audio and actually made it interactive. Don't know how he got it, but the monitor is a 1985 Magnavox stick. Morgan, jeez, you got all the encyclopedic knowledge. All right, I have a breakpoint here. We're gonna find out if this is actually getting called. So I think, and do I have any other breakpoints? Yeah, I do right here. Let's get rid of that. Get out of here. Okay, we're gonna see. This is gonna be a quick, like, either it hits or it doesn't hit once you start doing the transition. And if it doesn't hit, okay, now we know the issue. I'm missing some kind of invoke or trying to be cool or something and just made everything complicated for no reason. Because honestly, I like to pretend I know how to do async good, but honestly, I can't do async that great. And it didn't hit. Cool. So that means this function isn't being invoked, which means that when we do this start, override true, start, null after start, this delegate isn't being called. Interesting. That's no good. And this is for application start. That's the message we're transmitting. So let's go back to the transition animator and see what's going on here. I think we do, where do we do the message receiver listening thing? Let's make sure we even have that going on here. We have an init function, application broker, receive application transition calls, subscribe to play full transition. Okay, I'm weirded out here. Why is this not, okay, this is all one class. Do I want this to actually be, do I actually want this to be a full transition call every single time? I have no idea. We're printing out stuff that's happening. We're looking for on if we actually call this stuff. So we check these things. And I believe last time we checked, this was being called request executed, which means that disposable gets removed, and when you this new disposable, play async transition, and then within here we pass in the state, and we have start, and then what was the one we were looking for? After start. So this should be called if it's not null. Okay. Let's actually breakpoint this bad boy now. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. If it even hits, actually. Honestly, let's just see what goes on with this function. Ooh, you make me so angry. I'm gonna catch up in chat real quick. 1 second, guys. My bad. This requires me to actually do stuff, so we're gonna have to. Just give me 1 moment, y'all. 1 moment, y'all. As it compiles, that's awesome, Morgan. Turn it onto into an oscilloscope. I was actually thinking about getting an oscilloscope because we have like this weird audio thing where I have like the music coming from my CD player and it's doing FM transmission to like this radio, then out to that. I almost want to get like an oscilloscope and like actually display some of this stuff. Or maybe pipe into my audio equipment and have it be displayed there. I'm sure there's some oscilloscopes I can find used that are not crazy expensive. Okay. No breakpoints. So we're not even getting here. Wait, what? What? We're not getting here? I'm confused, dude. There's a France-specific Evo. That's crazy. Hi, I'm from Brazil. Hey, Bruno. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Make yourself comfortable. Do I hear Deltarune music in the background, or I'm crazy? You're a little crazy, Angie. But it's okay. We're all a little crazy. That's not a Deltarune. That's actually from Dust Force. It is, I believe, 9-Bit Adventure. It's a great track. And I can say that with confidence because this mixtape I got going on, this mix I have my CD that I burned, does not contain Deltarune music, unfortunately. Let's see here. GCat. What do you say, Josh? Yes, it was the first one. Just got back from Evo France. Hey, how did it go for you, man? How did Evo France go? How we placed? Are you the strongest in the universe? Wait. Are you the strongest in the universe? That's not how Paul sounds, but whatever. That's a close I get. Thank you, Action Set Retro. What's up, Squad Swiper? It's fun. I forgot about it. It's a good game. It was like my first, I believe it's either my first or second Steam purchase. I can check that out, though. We're making a little game, and we're trying to get level transitions happening. Because they've been busted since prototype release, and today's the day we make them happen. Either that, or I just rewrite this transition animator from the ground up. Yeah, it plays the transition, but it doesn't load the next level, and we're in this fog world, which is done. This happens for completely unrelated reasons, but still pretty cool. I wonder though, in this state, because it's override true, if I were to touch this death volume, yeah, it does do the thing. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, we need to fix that visual stuff. That's like super easy. That's just massaging code around. Also, was I able to move during that? I should not be able to. Yeah, no, it stops me. Oh, I want to do another thing where like, okay, this is like a separate thing, but I want to add time dilations. I already have time dilation, like a module for dilating time, so that time slows down when something happens. I want to make it so if you hit things, it feels very impactful. Like time slows down for a second before you move them. That's a different thing. Specific framework? Not really. I have my own framework for application application logic, file saving, loading, that sort of thing. I have my own dev kit that I've built up over the years, literally years. Oh my goodness, that I'm kind of like hardening by trying to make a leaner, smaller game. Even though like I keep saying I'm gonna make a small game, and then it kind of balloons up in complexity. What's going on here? What's going on in the Discord? By the way, guys, we have a Discord. In case if you want to try out the game when I finally post a link, or do the game testing. Sounds familiar. Yeah, a little familiar. That's a little Resident Evil. Day 1, I beat one of the best EU players and took a top 5 player, CBM from Korea, to final round. Day 2, Ben got 129th out of... it happens, man. I'm gonna do better. It is what it is. But at least you have some highlights, though. You have some highlights. There's some tension. There's a story there. I think that's still something, man. At least you have something for it, man. Do you remember? So here's a story, guys. A little, not even a story, really. It's just a little anecdote, I guess. I went to, with my boy Josh, we went to Combo Breaker. And it's a fighting game tournament over here by where I live. And I remember I went in for Tekken and for Smash Brothers. And I just got mollywopped at both of them. It was rough. And I remember me and Josh went to a KBBQ place, and I was like contemplating my life. I was like, Josh, either I need to stop all this game deving stuff and just focus on getting good at fighting games, or I quit this entirely, because I am not going to go out like a buster again. I refuse. This is not going to happen. Either fighting games becomes my purpose in life, or it becomes dead to me. That's the two routes we have here. What's up, Hugo? Good to have you here, man. But yeah, dude, that was rough. Let me mute this real quick, just because I don't want to accidentally trigger people with a Discord notification, and they go checking their phones to see who's messaging me. Yeah, you took the other route, yeah. Yeah, I think that lunch we had together at that Korean chicken place was like where our paths, like, that's where we split, dude. We went down different anime art, like that. We changed genres entirely, dude. We changed genre. I thought I muted the thing. What's going on here? We gotta mute this too. My bad. Hey, what's up, Space Latency? That's a pretty sick name, actually. Good to see you. But yeah, dude, completely different genres. Completely different genres. Okay, I was trying to mute it so I don't like make people check their thing. Okay, I think this is the one. Is Rapidly? I know, dude. The Discord's been growing like crazy, dude. It is a pleasure to have y'all. Get cozy, Spacey. Space is always cool to me, dude. It's kind of wild to think about how much... I mean, it's not really space, right? But electromagnetic waves and space kind of related. Kind of related. Also, remember this installer music for getting Final Fantasy 11? I almost want to make an installer for Messy Mansion. Like, there's no point in doing it because the game is gonna be less than 700 megabytes. That's the goal, but I think there'd be something kind of fun about having a stupid installer that just like unzips a file and make it like super polished, like for no reason. Like have a cinematic, have like, I don't know, like have an installer that's bigger than the base game. Like the installer is gonna have like its own MMO or Animal Crossing game built into it or something. Oh man, I think that'd be hilarious. Okay, I need to track what's going on here. Are we even playing full transition? That's a question. What am I even broadcasting here when we do this application load state? No, we're broadcasting what is expected, which is a... Okay. Yet another breakpoint. Let's see. Big tournament in Orlando, and it won me a free trip to DreamHack Atlanta Computing Tech. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it, dude. And then let's go, dude. Yeah, Joshua's got the combos down, dude. What's up, Pedro? It's good to have you, man. Oh, so what's up, Poppy San? That's a funny name. Oh man. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, running again. Let's see what's going on here. Come on, load. Oh, is it loading? There we go. What is going on? Am I crazy? Oh, debug isn't enabled. Oh my goodness. I want to press the stop button. It stops debug mode entirely. Oh my goodness. So I could have actually been entering this loop this entire time and I wouldn't have realized it. It's okay. It's okay. We make mistakes. We learn. We live, laugh, love, right? That's what we do here. Okay, we live, laugh, lamau. Okay, let's just try re-verifying what we're trying to test here, which was what again? I know there's like a switch statement thing around here. Here we go. Yeah, I want to see what goes on in this case. Actually, no, I just want to see what goes on a little bit above here, which is, yeah, I don't care. I just want to have this happen. Cool. Have the launcher be named Cleanly Casa. Messy Mansion, nah, bro. Give them the Cleanly Casa. I like that, actually. Good on you for doing a personal project. I can't think straight after my day job, although I would love to code on the side. Yeah, it's a trade-off. But I mean, it's a trade-off I've been making since high school. Like even in high school, I didn't really have. I had a social life because of band and people, but like I wouldn't. Everyone's hanging out and doing stuff, but most of my high school was like I have my homework and I'm not gonna do it. And I'm just gonna work on games or do my homework, like do my games first and then do my homework super last minute in the morning or during class. And but yeah, and that was like same thing in college, dude. So honestly, this is kind of like just like having a day job and then doing this game deving stuff is just kind of what I've been doing my whole life. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we get to the breakpoint. Very nice. We step over, and it's gonna be application. What's the type? Okay, it's start. So okay, I know this. Yield return that. We wait for this to do its thing. Can I put a breakpoint right here? Yeah. No, I don't want to do that. Let's just keep stepping over. Yeah, it's gonna do that for a while. Okay. Okay, so I think this is where things go to die. I think this is where the bad happens. We never get to this line. It gets stuck here. Interesting. Okay, I think we might have found our issue, guys. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. So, yeah, and the only while condition is here. So I'm assuming, what I'm assuming is that we never leave this while condition. That the math we're doing here ain't mathin'. And we end up, I'm doing time.delta time. That's for elapsed time over. What am I doing here? Okay, there's something weird going on here. I think that's probably what's going on. And let me actually go into, because I haven't even considered this. Let's go into like the ye olden, not ye olden, but the application class, and let's actually look at what's going on under the hood here. What's happening under the hood? So we have, I need to find the transition animator, and then I want to inspect its private variables. Here we go, transition animator. Let's put it into debug mode. Thank you, Unity, for that. Okay, so transition animator. The threshold is currently 0. And this is waiting for threshold to be greater than. Why am I doing this? While it's greater. Wait a second. Then this can't be happening because the threshold is 0. 0 is less than this float threshold I set here. So it should be exiting this loop. We set threshold to 0. Does disposing within here cause bad things to happen? Is that what's going on? That might be what's happening. I'm disposing it. This. Oh. I might be disposing this. Oh. Okay. I think we might have found it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might have found it. What's up, Gotas Denion? Whenever I'm writing a long script, I sometimes lost track of flow of the program. If that makes sense, does it happen to you? Oh, it happens all the time. Like, think about it like think about your mind like your hand, dude. And you have like a bunch of marbles. And then like, you know, you have your hand pretty well, but like, if someone were to take like, you know, a Play-Doh and throw it in here, which is like, I don't know. Hey, dude, did you know that the next door neighbor just like summoned a whole Valkyrie of raccoons to raid the other neighbor's yard? And they started a little society. That would be this Play-Doh that just knocks the marbles out. And like, maybe there's some marbles still there, but like there's also this big thing. And then once I process that and we deal with, you know, calling animal control and handling that situation, I'm like, all right, now that this has been dealt with and that's not important right now, I need to like pick up the marbles to kind of understand everything. And that's kind of how it is for programming, where you have the marbles are like the state of your understanding of the program. And then like, you know, if someone brings something to you, it knocks the marbles out for a second, and getting back into it might take a different amount of times to put them back so you can understand what you're doing again. I mean, it kind of happens to a smaller degree when I'm streaming, because, you know, whenever I look to the side and I see what's going on. And is that Majin Buu? You look like the good Majin Buu, so I'm glad to have you here. Terry A. Davis returns to Linux programming. He did use Ubuntu, didn't he, to write the OS? But that happens to a lesser extent. So you like saw it right here, where sometimes I look off, and then when I come back, I'm like, all right, what was I doing again? That's me putting back the marbles, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I was gonna get rid of the disposal thing. That's what I was doing. Somewhere around here, I believe. Yeah, this is where. was gonna deal with that, and then yeah, that's what I was dealing with. Playful transition. That's just. I should really restructure this, because this is always weird for me to understand. This whole thing's odd, and I think I can simplify this even more than it currently is. And leaving it as it is kind of a bad, evil bad thing. But yeah, so we're gonna do this disposal here, because I believe yeah, I'm gonna just try this out. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. I have ADHD, so I have perpetual issues focusing on projects. You are in a dark place when you can't keep track of program state, and that's when you go for the walk. Yeah, that's what happens. Now, honestly, the walk, like usually I go with walks and kind of lay off the keyboard when there's like big architectural decisions to make that has implications for, you know, the long term. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I can see options immediately, but I need to weigh the pros and cons of what I want to commit to doing, because, you know, this can bite me in the butt like a year from now or 2 years from now, or in the worst case, like bite everyone's butt in the team, like in the future, and no one's gonna be happy about that. So, you know, those are usually I take walks for that, or usually the other situation that causes that is there's like something wrong that makes no sense, and it's just breaking my brain, where it's like, okay, I've validated so many things, so something dumb is happening here. Someone somewhere lied to me, and we need to figure out where the lie is happening or coming from. And that's also a time when you take a walk, and that's usually because you know, something really weird that's usually due to underlying stuff. Okay, yeah, we can resume. Yes, resume. Okay. Stuck in darkness. This is getting called repeatedly, which is kind of concerning me a little bit. Let me stop it. Oh, it's because I keep clicking into this. I'm like, why is this happening? Oh, is this another level to this bug? Okay, so that didn't stop things. Bring this bad boy back in. Oh, yay. Okay, didn't do the thing. I was like, did it break breakpoints again for me? I'll never forgive them if that's what they did. How long have I been coding for? Almost over 10 years. Awesome setup you got there. Thank you. What is your name? Embil? That makes sense. I'm a beginner game dev, and it happens a lot when working with state machines. Yeah, no, state machines are always weird. I'm having issues with state machines. But yeah, I've been coding for like 10 something years. I only feel like I've gotten somewhat competent over the past like 3 years. But I don't know. I always kind of feel like I'm a little bit always behind as far as my knowledge is. Like it always feels like the knowledge I have and the knowledge I need for whatever problem is always slightly behind or more. So it feels like I just gotta keep catching up. You're still not getting here. Still not getting there. Wait, what? When did this get commented back in? When did you come back? I thought I removed you. Oh, I grabbed the wrong place. See? Application state, that's a little issue. It's a little problem. Okay, let's try this out. Okay. Learning to help coding games. I mean, it really depends on the engine you're starting off with. Honestly, though, I'd really and this is a hot take, but I always say it. I highly recommend using a statically typed language. Meaning that, meaning a language that forces you to define what your classes and structs are and give a name to them and define what variables or data they're going to have in there or what functions they're going to have. Because there's nothing's worse than debugging like, hey, that's something different. That's a bingo. And we loaded the level. We have the level, guys. We loaded it into another level. This is the original one from the prototype. Oh my goodness. Joyous day. Okay, and things are broken here, but that's okay. I can deal with broken because I'm happy because we actually have level transitions working. Yeah, I remember this level. Oh, I haven't seen the dialogue system in forever. I've been dealing with just all this graphics and tool development stuff that, like, I've been so removed from how this used to be. Oh my goodness. It's so weird having the mouse on screen, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we can just, because the depth volumes are not working as intended, we can just cheat and go through here. Yeah, and everything, because I rewrote how the dust mechanics work, we can just like, we could just like walk through all the barriers without having to clean anything. Yeah, we have to change all those dialogues, different characters, stories, and whatever. I have to rewrite this whole stuff for localization purposes. But I can't believe it, guys. We got it. Godot better. Yeah, oh, well, let's only check something. C# is popular for game dev, same with C++. Honestly, building a game is not the best way to learn programming. Is Python good? I just finished cooking a meal while listening to your debugging session, and it was incredibly relaxing. Thanks, man. Such a cool vibe. You rock. Thank you, Roberto. We're aiming for relax and laid back and chill, which may not be what people think of when it comes to programming, but hey, you know what? We do our best here. Stick that will keep you straight. Yep. Old PC, no, it's a modern operating system and modern machine. You lay it and tie it all together. Did you make your own dialogue system? Yep. Everything, all the stuff. No plugins. I'm not using any plugins, dude. My own audio manager, my own chat dialogue system, my own. I'm gonna be rewriting the chat dialogue system to be to work with to be better for localization purposes, because I want it to be actually from a CSV file and not from a scriptable object in Unity. It's fine for me, but I know at some point we're going to be having people who are not programmers doing translations in the game. So it'd be better for the game to be in some kind of, all the language of the game to be in the format that's actually reasonable for them to work with. And all the fog is broken because we have it disabled. Oh, I haven't played this area in such a long time, dude. It's so weird. I haven't been here in just a long time. It feels like an old friend I haven't seen in forever. Yeah. And the lighting model's different, so it's a bit weirder for me to see stuff here. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, the lighting. Yeah, all the lighting is broken here because I changed how the data is stored, and I probably have to change it again, so it's not gonna look as pretty as it's supposed to. But hey, at least all the game gates are cleared now, so I can just I have to get used to holding down the jump button. I'm not used to that. Yeah, dude. 1 second, we're going down memory lane real quick. 1 second. Just seeing how things look with this busted lighting. I'm glad the cast shadows are still persistent. Yeah, but this doesn't activate. This doesn't. The fog. It doesn't look as good without the fog. I gotta say. No. Oh yeah, I forget. Everything's broken right now. I think it's likely due to that not disposing, but I think we can deal with that later. We can make that be managed explicitly by something else. Okay, we're gonna stop here. Actually, wait. I know there's a character here, around here somewhere. It's so weird without the light. I didn't realize how disorienting the game is without having light available to you. Hey, pal. Yeah, look, I love it. You can see like the PS1 vertex snapping stuff happening here. Oh, I can't wait to write some more NPCs for this game. This is so exciting, dude. Okay, I'm happy. I'm super happy with that, dude. I'm super happy with that. I have faith that one day we will escape the dark world. Yes, we will. What type of armaments are you going with? Armaments. Can I help with Spanish translation in case you want to add it to the game? I can do Spanish. Yeah, but if you want to do like proofreading, because honestly, I'm not super fluent. Actually, you know, I'll add you to a short list, dude. I'll add you to a short list. Yeah, because I want to get like I need to find translators for a bunch of different languages. And then yeah, I'm gonna do. There's so many. I like I said, this whole game is I want to do things the hard way. So like I'm trying to get rid of using text mesh pros and instead using my pixel sprite based font instead, so I can have more control over how we display things. And because text mesh pros, there's some like limitations in how you display it too. I just want to have a nice simple anyways. But yeah, kind of in some ways it opens more doors though too for like other things, but we'll see. English translate. I can help with the English translation copy. I appreciate it. Okay, I'll take your offer on that, man. I'll pay $1 billion for that per word. Has a Minecraft look to it. Probably because the tile mapping I'm doing is absolutely 90s vibes. Let's go, dude. I'm glad. F404. i3? Nah, Ubuntu. Yeah, i3, Ubuntu, Unity. Not the most spicy of setups, but something. It's something. It's something. She treats me right. She treats me good. What's going on here? So we commented out this whole disposal thing here because I realized that's what's causing the issue, is that we're disposing before the thing gets done did. So what is this disposal that we have going on here? Are you passing it in? If disposable is true. Oh, and it's disposing this. We just have to override it, actually. And it's fine. It's set to false by default, though. That's the weird thing. And it doesn't seem that there's any... Is there overloads that use that? Let's see where the bug... where this happens. Here. I should really remember the line numbers too while we're at it. Ooh, I have dispose set to true as well. And we have the disposal happening. Oh, that's what so we're doing the disposal though after the fact, so. I actually may potentially not have to. I think the bug might be due to how I handle the override thing, because like if you're transitioning to a level that has higher priority than, you know, if you die, right? Gosh, I have to figure something out. I'm gonna refactor this at some point, or maybe I won't, just leave it. I don't know. What layout are you using for what? For i3 or for the keyboard? Keyboard layout? That's an Ergodox keyboard, and I can find my file for my Ergo. It's somewhere around here. It's not that crazy. It's a minor quality of life stuff. So like having this button be shift insert and having this be F2 and F12 and then having this be the numpad. I tell you, working at retail, working in Guitar Center, I really learned to love that. Okay, that's a new bug we're gonna have to deal with. Very cool. We will deal with that later. Now I wonder if this affects transitions between levels. Like if I transition to this level and I put a door going back to the hub world, if that would affect things. I'm actually very curious about that. I also feel inclined to change. Yeah, I feel inclined to change how I design this so that, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, we had the lobby level before, but now it's going to be hub world. So I think that's like the only thing that changes. Room from that. We don't even use that. We don't even use that. Okay, what do we use? Go to lobby. Yeah. Is that what I called it? At the church. Also, I appreciate the comments, Zeke. Appreciate it, man. What's up, Keyboy? And what's up, Z-Krills? Also, hello from, I believe that's Russian, or maybe Ukrainian typeface. I don't know. I'm not cultured. Tragically, I should be. I'd like to do that, but sadly, I'm ignorant. So feel free to correct me. Oh, but this is nice. This is from a fishing game, guys. Yeah, it's Russian. Okay, this is from a fishing game. Okay, this is oh wait, what am I doing? I'm not testing this correctly. Yeah, it's called Hub World. Cool. So we can save this. Then you go back to level 1. And yeah, we're in level 1 again. And oh no, that's level 1 save. That's the original level 1. This is how the game started. Like this used to be the original level 1, but then I made another one for the prototype. But let's find that. Dude, one day I'm gonna release this game and then I'm gonna get a Brazilian dollars from it. A whole Brazilian dollars. Even bigger than a gazillion. And I'm gonna get a camera that does not shut down after 30 minutes. For tax purposes. Alright, let's go back to here. Or at least I'll successfully overwrite the firmware with oh, did I not make I didn't make a prefab, did I? No, I didn't. Exit. Or is it level end? Yeah. So this guy should still take you back to the starting world. If I'm not mistaken. This should be targeted towards, let's get this out of debug, put it back to normal. Yeah, lobby, perfect. I'll help you with your soundtrack. If you have any wishes, I could send you a few tracks your way. I appreciate Dominic, but I actually do all the music composition myself. But you know what, actually, because even though I do want to compose all the music, who knows, maybe I might get into something or a pickle and get too stretched thin like this Play-Doh. Either way, I would still dig seeing your music and just listening to what you got. I think it's always cool to see other people's music and see their creativity. Also, okay, I'm a freshman in college at Gonzaga, studying comp sci, and I was excited to start learning C++, but they changed the first course to Python, which I already know. That's tragic, dude. Also, I'm sorry, you probably get asked this a lot, but what keyboard is that? It's an Ergonox, and don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all good. Monitor, Magnavox. Wanted to stream this kind of content, but wondered if showing my code would result in being stolen, but then I remember just how bad my code is. Like, hey, good luck debugging my code. Yeah, honestly. I mean, there's this whole thing where code is like a liability. Going back to you, Aiden, I think it'd be very prudent for you to learn C++, especially if that's something you find interesting. I think it's be far more beneficial than Python, if I'm going to be real with you. Especially if your interest aligns with it. So if you're not going to learn Python in class, or if you're not going to learn C++ in your class, it'd be very beneficial to still try doing it in your own personal time. Ooh, my goodness, what just happened? Did we just get an exception? Yes, we did. Yikes, that's a null reference. It's all regular null reference exception. Let's see what the exception is, shall we? What is the bug? What is the bug? Tell me. What ails you, my friend? My friend, what ails you? What hurts you? Couldn't be loaded because it is not in... Ooh, I need to add you to the build, don't you? I do. Build settings. But yeah, there's this whole idea where it's like using other people's code is like a... Like code in of itself is more of a liability. So like if a company inherits a bunch of code from another company, like there's a huge cost of that. Ooh, there's a good video about that idea where sometimes it's actually better just to scrap and rewrite. Habuerdo. Save changes. Yes. But yeah, I don't know. Like, also, it's like people getting my code from streams. It's like, okay, like have fun scrubbing through it and you know, retyping it down on your side, and then you're only gonna have snippets of it because usually it's hooking up to things that haven't exposed. So like, you know, you're still gonna have to invent things or core components to interact with the things that exist here. And at the end of the day, like a lot of the structures I'm implementing isn't new or revolutionary. It's stuff that already exists. It's probably somewhere, either explicitly or just something people kind of converge upon when tackling a similar problem space. So it's not as big of a concern for me. It's be extremely difficult for little gain. I'm sorry, what's up, Thurston? That's in relation to what? It's more productive than Python, in my opinion. Can you write the IDE using it? Just forget it. Write the IDE using? What do you mean? I would like to answer your question, but I might need some more specification in terms of what you mean. Any tips for beginner game dev with coding? I've made 3 games through a course. What engine are you using, and what kind of games do you want to make? I think those are pretty important. And also, game dev is kind of... There's also a general... Like, there's a whole decision tree here, right? Because it's like, are you trying to do game dev and become a solo developer? Are you trying to do game dev and go into industry and get good at a specific thing, potentially? Or a set of things? Yeah, there's considerations for that kind of question. Okay, we ended up here. Now we go here. And we can go back between levels, guys. Now, the tricky thing is that we need to figure out where to place the player, because if they came from this level, you want them to return through this door. That just seems reasonable to me. So I need to have some kind of, probably just a lookup, basically, of like what state are we coming from? Previous state, and then have a script place the player correctly based off of that. That's not crazy though. That's pretty relatively simple. So I'm not too concerned about that bad boy. Okay, so the most important thing works. Do I die? I do not die. This does not happen yet. There's a missing reference exception, so that's maybe a little bit concerning because that means something is existing. We're trying to reference something that does not exist anymore. And that's usually due to some kind of subscription I'm doing that isn't being disposed on object deletion. That's for particle systems. Interesting. System bindings? That sounds like a Unity issue. Okay, that's for like performed. Spin your script should either check it or okay, no, that's maybe it's not. It's default dash. Okay, this guy is a problem. Just additional. I mean, this is a symptom of something bad, but for right now, we're just gonna null check this bad boy and call it a day. Dot dash particles. Also, who's calling this? Because something's calling execute. So I'm assuming this is existing while things don't exist. It's probably happening in some kind of... No, this is happening within a controller request. Yeah. Actually, it can happen from a bunch of different things, but I'm assuming it's from a player controller. We shall see. Alright, let me catch up in chat. My bad, guys. Imagine breathing couldn't be me maybe like 2 weeks ago, but being sick said, bro, that's overrated. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're sick, Morgan. Hopefully you can breathe. Have you seen that stuff where they do molds of like actors' faces for movie sets back when they used to do practical stuff? And like they encase their entire face and head in this molding material, and they would put like straws in their nose so that they wouldn't suffocate. That's like the most claustrophobic thing ever, but maybe that's what you need right now. What the ID I use, Kunal? I'm using Ryder. Also, good to see you again, man. It would the game cost money? Probably. Let me continue on chat. An actual interesting stream. Thematic. Rarity nowadays. Greetings. Hey, greetings, Toxis. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I see some... I'm glad with what we have here. I think it's very... Not only like the stream, but the people who come here, I think usually... I don't know. I feel like the people who join the streams are usually interested in like some... I mean, of course, interested in some of the similar things I'm interested in. Games and coding and tech and all that stuff. But it's just nice to see people who are interested in things that are deeply interesting. Okay, that sounds very redundant. It's cool to see people not interested in very superfluous things or emotionally kind of manipulative stuff that with like a lot of broadcasts I see. So like, I don't know. I like the vibe we have here, guys. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Shout out to you, game dev. Software engineering here, but game development is on an entirely different planet. Yeah. It's definitely a very difficult problem space. Also, the CD finished. So we need some new mixes. And this is my cue to stand up for a second, do some squats. Hopefully not, try not to sit too much so that we don't get no blood clots or anything like that. That's kind of nice to have, nice to not have on a MacBook. Oh yeah, I'm making sure my game is very performant. At least that's the goal here, so that it runs on I have a really bad laptop. But no, a MacBook, that's a different question. It's not about performance. It's about compatibility with a Mac. I have no idea. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make a Mac build because I would have to get a Mac laptop Maybe I can ask someone so I can borrow it and do that. But as soon as they require me to make a account for Apple, I'm just gonna refuse to. I don't know. We'll see though. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll bite the bullet. At the very least, the WebGL version of the game, the demo should be available for play on that. Okay, good stretches. I want to use Unity and be a solo dev, but what game I want to make, I don't know yet because I lack skills and knowledge to know what type of game is too hard for me. I think Bessie, I think do not say that necessarily. I think it's valuable to set a goal, maybe even set a goal that interests you, right? And then try getting to it. And even if you fail to get to it, you probably would have acquired some skills in attempting to do that. And likely if it's too hard, you're not going to even get off the ground, right? And then you probably lose interest and try something else. So I wouldn't discourage yourself from choosing something. Just find something that interests you and try making it. And you're going to have a lot of things that you don't know. You're just going to have to Google it, watch some YouTube videos, maybe ask some help from people. And that's going to be what makes you grow and develop and get knowledge. But yeah, solo dev, that's going to be a multidisciplinary thing then for sure. But I think just the basics of making objects move and do stuff, which for any game you're doing, you're probably going to encounter that. It's going to be important. Okay, what's the next track? I think we're going to do the Windows wave thing. Which CD did I just put it in? I think this is the one I need. Oh, I don't have any of these labeled because I don't have the marker that's CD safe. So we're just going to rock with what we have and hope we got the right thing. Alright, hi, I'm new here. I've never worked with C#, but it looks like Java syntax. Pretty much. Nice to have. Yes, blood clots are definitely nice to have. No, that's what we're trying to avoid. Also, what's up in net segment? And by the way, this is for, we're going to be I'm trying to aim for a play test this week. So if that interests you guys, we have a Discord in the channel description. So if that's of interest, feel free to join. What are all these cat pics, dude? I just came to the Discord. When did all these cat pics happen? 1 second. Alright, anyways, let me get back here. Let me catch up before I get into working. Digging the 90s monitor. Thank you, Joshua Casey. Is there a reason you stream to YouTube and not Twitch? I just don't like Twitch. I did Twitch since high school, and I don't know. I feel like Twitch doesn't promote smaller creators nowadays, at least, or maybe never. I don't know. And just as a platform, I know YouTube is has its own issues, like any big megacorp, but I don't know. I find myself enjoying working with YouTube more than not working with. I'm not getting paid by them for anything, but I enjoy using their platform more than I do Twitch. With Vim, is it? Yep, that's what I'm doing, Kunal. How to get good at Vim? I find it difficult using. I can't really help you, dude, because my training was equivalent to my little arc with using Vim and getting used to it was just throwing myself into the jungle and hope I survive. And just switching everything to be Vim. I stopped using Notepad and instead I installed Lunar Vim on my Windows machine using PowerShell 7, I think. And everything I could Vimify, I Vimmed it. Even my browser right now. If I go to my browser, you'll notice it's also Vim bindings. I can use Vim motions to navigate and do stuff around here. Not for everything. Obviously for text and websites it doesn't work as well, but wherever I can, I use it. If I want to interact with a website, F, and then I can do I don't know, if I want to go to the Unity Concord. I can just press D and it selects that, and I can navigate through the website using just my keyboard. And if I want to go to there, I can just do here, and if I want to go to platforms, I can go to J. Just Vimify everything in life, and you're just gonna learn. If you can't, it's like the equivalent of like, you cannot unzip your pants until you learn how to do a backflip. Maybe it's not the same thing, but it's like, I'm pretty sure if they put a chastity belt on you and you can't use the bathroom until you learn how to do a backflip, you're gonna learn to do a backflip. You may not be dry by the time you get to the bathroom, but I guarantee you by the time you get to the bathroom, you're gonna learn how to do a backflip. Make a keyboard and card something like a Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm sorry, what? I wanna make a board and card, a game, something like Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been working on the same application for 4 years. Rip, Jason. I'm sorry for you, dog. Unless you enjoy it. This has died for a long time, but I don't have the time now. It happens, dude. You can do baby steps. I like implemented the basis of like different games within afternoons, or like an hour or two, just to get something going. Just no good options. Is life easier now using all Vim? Sometimes and sometimes not. Nice one if you can't zip your pants until you can do a backflip. Yeah, that's the goal here, man. That's the best analogy I can come up with. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I also have like Vim for my, now like this is the ultra next level is, since I'm using i3, I also have my config file to be Vim. Like if I go to my, I don't know, what am I going to? If I go to, yeah, config, I believe it's fully spelled out. Yeah, here, like all my bindings are using Vim stuff too. Like the HJKL for focusing, left, down, right. I mean, not super Vim, but the basic stuff. Where I can, I try to do it. The hardest part is not getting the motions, but trying to get the modes implemented. The modes is the difficult part, but we'll get there eventually. Interesting. This triggered the death, but doesn't conclude it. Very cool. We're finding some new things here. I like the analogy. I'm glad, man. So the CRT works for your eyes. It works good enough. It works good enough. I'm able to get stuff done with it. Be productive. I use it off stream, so like, it's definitely not the end all be all. But without saying though, as for you though, like I'd probably look up some Vim games too online. If you don't want to go to that extreme, you can always just I'm pretty sure there's some Vim games that teach you stuff. There's a video of a guy showing this girl how to use Vim. Let me see if I can find it. It's funny because everyone in the channel or in the comment section are like, they're calling him Vimothy Charlemagne. That's amazing. Let me see if I can find it. SD. Let's see. Teaching D1 athlete how to Vim, or Neo Vim, I believe. There's a reaction to the video, but I'm trying to find the original video so you guys can check it out yourself. Don't tell me you took it down. It's like the greatest thing ever, dude. Where's Vimothy Charlemagne? Where's this man at? Don't tell me they got rid of it. The NVim. Oh my goodness. That breaks your... Oh, here you go. Here we go.
This is
Great.
my friend Kylie. We met at a...
Great video. Great video. Highly recommend you check it out in your own time. Teaching Vim to the popular girl. Oh, that's the thing. She's also a D1 athlete. Yeah, it's... The whole thing's hilarious, man. This is crazy for the BIM community. It's hilarious, dude. I love it. But yeah. Just got here. What's up, Keith? What am I watching right now? I was just talking about Vim stuff for a second before getting back to some game dev. We're fixing some bugs. I fixed a bug, and now there's other bugs as consequence, so I'm trying to see if I can just patch some holes onto it. If not, I think I might have to do some substantial just reworks and redesigns to this. Because right now we have the ability to like go to levels. Like that's a thing we have. We have the ability to go here, go to these planets. Not planets, but other worlds. And it works, and I can go to like this door here and go back to the hub world. And it works largely fine. However, now that I have that working, I have officially broken the ability to die. He's just standing in there, nothing happening, menacingly breaking my game. How dare he do this to me? He can't get away with it. So yeah, we're trying to figure that out. Trying to salvage this code. Not salvage it. Trying to make it work, massage it to work without necessitating a full rewrite. I would like to avoid a rewrite. That would be my personal preference. But these games scare me. This game scares me. Okay, more missing reference exceptions. Beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. Just knowing that there's something out there that's existing, living longer than it's supposed to live, and just makes my heart flutter with glee. So much glee. Default dash at 98. What's going on here? Oh, stop. I have to add this guard statement to everything. I wish C# had macros. I really wish it had macros, because I could just do a macro for early returning and just call it a day. But no. I have to do the code again and again. That's why C++ is fun, dude. You can make your own language, basically. Like, legitimately, you can kind of make your own language within C++. Where it just doesn't feel like C++ anymore. It feels like something weird and wild. Have you ever get a choice of getting a superpower, no matter how it's broken it would be? What would it be? I have a very intense thought about this. I've written manifestos about this question. Wallet, you don't know what you just asked. You don't know what you just asked me. Like, there's so much to unpack there. Before I get to it, let me catch up with chat though. If you ever get a choice, okay, yeah, Keith, you asked about the keyboard. Yeah, it's an Ergodox if you're asking about this. Hey man, I watch you before I sleep, and I'm so glad I found your channel. I turned 26 at midnight. Your channel is great. Brother, can we get happy birthdays for VG? Let's get happy birthday. 1 second. At V. Happy birthday, man. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get the best birthday boy sleep or girl sleep. Wait, your name? Yeah, we don't know. Either way, we hope you get the best sleep. I hope you have the best day tomorrow. You know, God bless, man. Happy birthday. I need to learn how to do this, not for making a game, but just to get stuff done for my friends. Yeah, I think it's sick to learn how to do that. What's the name of your keyboard? Or Ergodox? Ergodox Easy Keyboard. It's a good one. Okay. I believe, let's try this again. Let's see how we get exceptions. I'm also being a little lackadaisical because I haven't actually paid attention to like where this exception is being emitted, where this MRE is coming from. If it's coming from trying to interact with the depth volume, or if it's coming from level transitions. I'm assuming it's from level transitions. No. Let's go back. Ooh. Something happened there. Something no bueno happened. Scene manager set active scene failed, invalid scene. Interesting. Application state utilities. Set active state. Oh! I mean, that's crazy that it's still working. And then we have an MRE just from performing. Every time you perform an action, there's an MRE happening. Beautiful. And if I go in here, nothing happens. Okay. Well, that's an easy bug to fix. As for these MREs, it's probably gonna just be a bunch of null check. Yeah, and all the components here. Yeah, camera pivot. It didn't happen here. It happened at line 62. So it means player.dash exists, which is odd. But it means that probably player pivot doesn't exist, which is probably, or something here. There's a bunch of things that are happening here that should not happen. So we're just gonna do and then all these subcomponents too. I know it'll be deleted. I am genuinely befuddled. Okay, I'm gonna try this out and hopefully that just covers everything, and if not, oh, joyous day. And then let's also fix that other thing of setting the active scene. That's a simple, dumb thing I just neglected. Happy belated. I turned a year older a couple weeks ago. Oh my, did you really, Morgan? Happy birthday to you as well, guy. Dude, let's get another one, dude. Hap. The great Morgan. Oh, I didn't mean to. I was trying to do an E-lined, but I mean, that's okay. This stuff is so cool, Cozy Cabin. I'm pretty intelligent, and my dad is really talented with code and IT stuff, and my mom is a teacher, but I didn't take that route, but it's always nice. It amazes me to see this. I appreciate it, man. And I love video games, so this is a super cool aspect I never get to see in action. Yeah, I think there's a beauty. Which ID writer? How do you type like that? Vim motions and just practice. Something V related to that, because like we are, like, for me, I'm so holed up within this path I've taken in life, and like I'm always, oh my goodness, the camera. But yeah, like I'm super holed up in this path I've taken in life, and I don't regret it. I'm very happy with what I do and how I do it and everything. But there's something very beautiful about witnessing other people who've put that same dedication or more into their craft and just being bewildered by it. Like I remember feeling this amazing sense of like awe and wonder and magic about like games, because I didn't know nothing about it. And you learn how the sauce is made, and you kind of lose that to a certain extent. But we watch, like, for example, when I watch like ballet, it's like the things they do is so beyond me, and I don't even have the technical understanding to comprehend the competency. And like, because of that lack of understanding of just how it works, it just seems like magic to me. Like when I watch like Natalia Osipova, probably like, vanilla, like, but I think most people will, like, that is a mainstream option or not option, but person to look at when they're doing their stuff. Like, I still find this stuff to be crazy. I still, like, I see the movements and I'm like, that feels inhuman in a certain way. And like, I'm not sure, how does a person even do this? And sometimes they feel like not human. They feel like something almost beyond that at certain points in what they do. Yeah, it's pretty sick, dude. So that's like an example of someone who just in a different lane than me. That I'm just like, it's a certain level of awe, or even like with chefs, though I can't really appreciate it because I'm not eating their food. But there's something about that competency that is always very interesting to me. Especially like, I remember watching Jiro Dreams of Sushi, which I think in high school, which I think influenced me greatly, because it's about the whole premise of the documentaries is sushi chef who's just dedicated his whole life to doing this thing and getting better and better at it. And, you know, maybe I wouldn't want to do the same sacrifices he did to achieve like that level of competency, but there's something about it that I deeply respect about this sushi, that this took this man 80 plus years to master and perfect, and still was trying to perfect. There's something about having that pride in your craft that I really resonate with, and kind of makes me want to also achieve that and pursue it rigorously. You like my CCTV? Thank you, Bird Channel. Oh, so what's up, 21 Lights? It's good to watch a real programmer do his job. It's better than watching some YouTubers who give hope and illusion to people. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but it's practical work at the very least. What's up, Popsicle? Good to see you. For the craft, man, you know the hard work it takes to become talented and consistently leveling up. What PC is using? So fast, so clean. I want one of these. I mean, the PC itself is just a normal, basic one. You could probably, I mean, the specs are not crazy. It's like a pretty beast machine down there. The peripherals are all the things that are old. And like the operating system and everything, that's free. You can just download it and install it and use it. And as Todd Howard says, it just works, except it doesn't because it's Linux. GNU Linux. But Linux nonetheless. Okay, there's something going on here. What was I doing? Yeah, I changed that to Hub World, so hopefully the state transition should not cause issues anymore. Life should just be happy and good. Kieran! The great and wonderful Kieran! Welcome back, my friend. It's good to see you. Gave up to be where they are. Yeah, exactly. Apologies for distracting you from... No, man, I'm here to be distracted. If I didn't want to be distracted and be just Mr. Productive, I would just be not streaming and just programming or ignoring you guys. But I don't know. I like the connection. I like talking to people. And I like sharing what I'm passionate about it. So, thank you for asking. How about that? You try to apologize, you get a thank you instead. What are you gonna do about it? And the exception's gone, yay! No more exceptions. If I dash, nothing breaks. Yes, we can go crazy. No exceptions. I'm probably gonna balloon up the memory. May not balloon, it's very little memory. So it's probably nothing to worry about, but I still don't like the idea of having a memory leak. Ooh, that's an issue. That's a little issue I need to deal with. Oh, yay. But we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, that's a depth thing. Okay, now we're just left with this issue. This problemo. If I go back here, is it going to cause anything to happen? Whoopsie, didn't even mean to transition like that. Per day, probably like, I don't know. It varies. Sometimes it's just 8 hours or 9 hours. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, 14 or 15. If I'm super like inspired and then really just want to pursue this thing wildly. That speed, I'm crying of joy. Nice PC. Thank you, man. The samurai's here. Let's go. It's good to see you, samurai. That's no fun, is it? What? I enjoy it. Your passion, bro. I hope it inspires others like we get inspired, others indulging in their art. Definitely, man. That's the goal here. How in the world are you typing so much fast? Typing these much fast? Just a little bit of practice. I'm not that great though, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Like maybe navigating and like manipulating documents and stuff like that, but there's someone I work with who types like super crazy fast on a regular keyboard. So it's like, all right. Yeah, like super crazy fast. It's like 100 words per minute plus. But usually I'm around like 80. So maybe not the most optimal typing, but I feel like my speed of navigating my editor is pretty good. And now we're left with this bug of why full transition doesn't happen. And I think it's due to the whole override business. The overriding business is the problem here, I think. Because I believe if I were to like make override false within the application, because right here we do override true, if I were to change that to be false instead, I'm guessing that would solve it. I almost feel inclined to not even allow different types of transitions to occur. Like if that happens, that's a bad on me. I should not let the player die within a point of transition. If you have enough coffee, actually just drink water. Oh, what's up, Out for Blood? Hi, you cool. Thank you. You're cool, man. Favorite language? Mine will be JavaScript because I'm a web dev student. Probably C++ or C#. It's pretty good. I've had a good experience with it. I started with GameMaker language, but honestly, dude, any dynamically typed language is just terrible. Like even if I'm doing web deving stuff, I'd prefer to use TypeScript or Kotlin and transpile to JavaScript. But the issue with that is that like if something goes wrong, you're gonna have to, and you're doing your TypeScript correctly, and it's just some weird JavaScript thing that's happening, you're gonna have to dive into the compiled JavaScript and figure out what's going on there. And I'm not. Ooh, now we can't do this. Okay, so is the answer just to make everything overrideable? Like, if I make the player, yeah, I'm probably gonna get rid of that field entirely, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But let's just look at this. Let's just take a look at this, a little gander. Transition. Here we go. Request state freeze. We do all these different things. Hire that delegate. Is there any override for? I think it's probably at the end. Let's look at the signature. What's the signature look like? Override is the final thing. Okay. You override. I was trying to be smart and preemptive, but no, we're not smart. So we're not going to be preemptive here. We're just going to say, hey, I had a skill issue. We're just going to override and we'll deal with this, removing this ability later. What's your favorite game? Ooh, that's a toughie. I have a favorite movie, but I don't have a favorite game. I mean, actually, no. That's a lie. There's a game that's responsible for me becoming a programmer in the first place, becoming any kind of creative, and it's called Little Big Planet. Which, by the way, I want to play that on stream. I legitimately do. Like, even if no one comes to it to watch it, just for my sake, I just want to stream playing it because Little Big Planet was such a big creative, is the word like zeitgeist? I don't know. It just had such immense influence on me because it's like basically a game engine almost, like a very simplified game engine they can use, and just having that ability to make levels and share it with people and play with other people and have that little connectivity of like socializing and expressing yourself, like it's unmatched, unreal. Such a great game. My favorite game. Everything I do development wise is in some way kind of working towards making something that allows something like this at some point. Like I even talk about this, like I have an idea, this like I have a series of games I'm working on that have specific purposes. This game is meant to, you know, just be a proof of concept, a validation of my dev kit, and then another one's going to be more stress tested, more complex game that's really going to put this dev kit to work, and then the next one's going to have more intensive online networking and things like that of that nature, and then different platforms as well, to make something that eventually allows something that's basically an editor for people that can, like the idea is that you have this game that you can edit levels on different platforms and share. I mean, it's basically Roblox, honestly. When I think about it, it's like basically kind of Roblox, except like a bit more streamlined for multiple platforms. I don't know. We'll see though. I have to get a game done, right? But yeah, if I had to choose a favorite game, that's this one, Little Big Planet. Banger. Made me very interested in making games in the first place. Got me to this point. It kind of doesn't make sense. I understand JavaScript just kind of doesn't make sense sometimes, but mostly I use JS, but for important projects I use TypeScript. Makes sense, Ravine. Yeah, people are also different, dude. I've seen people do really complex stuff in Python. I'm like, all right, I don't know how you handle complexity with that, but you're able to do it. You have something to show for it, so I'm not going to dog on you for it. Falls from the heavens every night to bless us with a stream. I'm not sure how you describe it that way. At the end of the day, I'm just a dude. Just a guy. Who? Okay, we have some brokenness. Let's see if I can still trigger a transition by going to the level, going back, and then going into the death volume. And if we do, that should be good. I was dev games while studying CS. I wonder to this day why they won't put it in the bio. What do you mean put what in the bio? We go here, come back here. Okay, and I should be able to jump to my death, and we're able to trigger it, but then there's a null reference exception that happens here. And this might be just the solution, is just have it all be forced. Oh, and that's because the player has no checkpoint. So this would actually work normally. It's just that the player isn't at a checkpoint initially. So that's actually fine. That's actually fine. That's no big deal whatsoever. Or if anything, like I could do a check where if I mean, we're probably gonna allow nasty bugs to escape, but whatever. For right now, for validation purposes. Last checked. Or if it's not null, we do this. It just puts him like where he's at right now. So it's gonna leave him and just like cancel his momentum, which is probably gonna cause an infinite loop now that I think about it, of like, oh, maybe not, maybe it might be a one-time thing. Like why they don't teaching it. Oh, like teaching game dev. You went to CS, but they didn't teach game dev. If I see it, I would definitely watch it. That's usually what I watch, or the infographic show on YouTube or Space or History. Yeah, like I like watching a lot of. I used to be into a lot of Astro YouTubers. Now I just watch a lot of programmer stuff, programmer or Y2K things, or the proper people. I like watching urban exploration videos. There's something that really tickles my brain as like a level designer, or at least someone who's trying to be a level designer for this game. Watching them explore old and abandoned architecture. Okay, so it's null, so it just didn't do anything. So we go here, and then we go back, and then before I jump into the death volume, let's go over here, trigger the checkpoint, and then let's go back here, and oh, I just got lost for a second. Okay, I have to go back here. Okay, we fixed it, guys. It works. We got level transitions working again. Heck yes, dude. And I just had to break an assumption I had for it to work as intended. And we're probably gonna find some more bugs here, but I'm gonna do a proper cleanup of this later. Okay, let's just save this because we have the game in a nice, stable place. So let's actually just save what we have here. Fixed level transition bugs. Push it to origin. It should go to Discord. GG's, guys. GG's, guys. My dev game skills game dev skills in that little tiny window I got left after 10 hours of classes by studying stupid math. That sounds like it sucked for you, man. Like, why don't you teach it? So what happened with... I'm trying to understand, because I'm trying to understand the situation that happened with you. Are you saying that they got stuck in class and then they left you behind after like 10 hours? Or were you trying to do like... You have to do 10 hours and you only had a little bit of time to do game deving? Oh, I don't have the Discord notifications on right now, so I didn't get the ping for the commit being pushed. Very sad. Let's just get rid of this. Oh no, get rid of this. Yeah. We're gonna do game deving someday. we're gonna become web devers one of these days. Look at that. We'd love to see it. We're gonna do some web deving at some point, guys. I have to make a new website. That's for sure. Nothing in the dev kit. Cool. So it's just purely a messy mansion thing. Okay. I'm content with that. So let's try something else. Now that we're here, we can do some spicy things. Some weird implementation. I was doing some profiler stuff to see if there's some... What is like taking up time right now and what's bad. Having two cameras is not ideal. One for the depth map and then one that includes the other thing. And I'm trying to think of what we may do to avoid it, or if I should just go back to my initial idea of not using this fog. But I love how this looks. Like, it's so cool having the fog be cut out by this door that's there. Though I feel we need to make a 3D model for this. Is today a modeling day? What's something else I need to test here too? Well, I should start testing out and making an actual proper level 1. Yeah, because you have the F there. We have to have the items that you can find within the level. That's kind of important. And we need to communicate that in some fashion. And then we have the timer as well. I don't want to crowd the UI, that's the problem. That's the thing, because I like how open and free this kind of is. Hey, it works, dude. This works, it actually works. But yeah, there's like some weird considerations there. There's level settings we still have to do. Not level settings, game settings. That's a whole UI. There's a whole thing for UI I need to tackle. I should be teaching in the CS degree. I think it's valuable. With Crimson Leaves, what keyboard are you using? I'm using Ergodox. That's a good feeling. What do you think of Souls games? I think they're fun. I played a few. I played Bloodborne, a little bit of Sekiro. I still have Dark Souls 3 new in wrap for the PS4. I still need to play it. See you next stream. Gotta wake up before 5 a.m. It's already 11 p.m. Jeez, brother. Yeah, get your rest. Get your 8 hours. Can't neglect that, dude. You gotta have a healthy brain with your 8 hours of rest. Okay, I honestly feel like we got some work done, so I kind of want to goof off and work on something different. One option is that we can do the game engine stuff. I can work on my game engine a little bit and try to figure out this fixed time update thing. I can try doing the ASCII game engine project. Or at least a renderer project, render pipeline. Just like I have something cool to put on my display here. I can keep trying to do the the fog lighting, the volumetric fog, and pick up where we left off in that metric. I might just nix it either way, but it'd still be kind of cool to play around with it. There's of course like boss stuff. There's the translation stuff that I need to do as well. I might start working on the translation system. Yeah, let me think about that actually. That seems actually important, and I don't want to start making content for the game without having this set up correctly. The way I have it in my mind is we're going to have a CSV where, for the whole game, where the Y where the X is like language and Y is like the ID of that dialogue. Now the thing that's interesting here is that we can use this. I have a scriptable object thing already for dialogues, and they're a bit more involved than just that, because beyond just having the dialogue information, I can find dialogues. Yeah, dialogues. There's also things like what voice should the character use when playing a certain thing or saying a certain line, or what icon should be displayed when a character is talking, or how fast should it be. I don't want to get rid of this because I think it's easier for me to work with. I think this dialogue thing, instead of typing in the dialogue, you'd actually just choose the ID and it'll preview that ID for you, so that you can just it's not here. What? It should be here. It's weird that it's not. I guess it's assets for that. Dialogue system. Yeah, so for example, like I can choose this for example, and here you'll see the lines, and each line, it's like a list of lines, and there's a preview of how it looks all together here. But you select the portrait. You also choose how the character progresses it, whether it's like they press buttons to advance it, or if it's timed where it's going to display the text over a certain amount of time, wait a certain amount of time, and then continue to the next thing. And then there's additional parameters like speed, delay before starting the next line, and then the tick sound each letter makes when you appear on screen. So I think the easiest thing would be having the CSV and replacing this text box instead with like a integer value, and preview the dialogue you're looking for from there. Not as convenient, but I think that would be the easiest way to make it portable. And then we just get like a global language setting, and when it comes time to display something, we just use that preset to define that. What's up, Anurag? Good night, Prionsa. Yep. What's up, Matt? What's up, VG? Do a backflip? I didn't put the belt on, dude. I learned my Vim. All right, I learned how to do my Vim. I'm not gonna do the backflip. What do you think about using AI to make each character in your game dynamic and able to interact more naturally? I don't like it. I mean, I get the idea, and I seen some cool demos of that kind of thing. But I just, for this kind of thing, like, there's utility for AI and practical use cases, but I don't know, there's like a moral component to AI that I just don't like. And yeah. And I think like for this kind of game, I want everything to have a specific I think you can kind of get that with AI, but I don't know, I just want everything to be handmade, even though this is not even though this is all conceptual. This is just bits. I'm not moving the bytes by my fingers, but you get the idea. But there's been really cool stuff that people have done with that to make characters much more AI, more interactable, and I think you even do some more things to make the AI's communication with the game more powerful, so that the AI can have more agency within the game and actually affect things beyond just giving information or modifying their character's behavior. But yeah, GTA doesn't really make sense. Like GTA would make sense. Yeah, I could see it be used there. What are we doing? Yeah, I'm thinking, because I'm realizing now we're gonna probably have to make a settings thing before any of this stuff. We're gonna need to make settings. Because that's settings gonna contain the general language settings, the general language stuff. So if I don't have it already, I'm gonna have to deal with settings, because like there's a whole other weird thing to deal with. It's how we're gonna do our save set system. Do you just want to have the player have one save and that's it? A lot of games do that, and that's fine, and maybe give them the option for a new game plus or an option to reset their data. But regardless, like, settings is a different thing than save data, because this should persist across everything. So it shouldn't be bundled with save data. That's gonna be a different thing. Yeah, saving I'm thinking about, because like, there's some. The way I've implemented saving is that it saves to a predefined location on any system you're on, so that I can tell all the games you play from us or from Cozy Cabin Games are all going to be in the children of the same directory. So I can tell if you played any of the other games and do weird things with the game depending on that. Like maybe if you played Crimson Crown, you get a certain character skin or a hat or a weapon or something in this game. Or maybe a character pops up or something like that. Like we have that information in a set place, so we can do those kind of things. But that means that like saves are no longer as easy as just copy and paste. Like it now requires that it be done in a specific way, which kind of bothers me, because I feel like it removes some agency from users. But on the other hand, kind of makes it allows me to do cool stuff. Ezra, this stuff hurts my brain. Yeah, it happens to everyone. Welcome to the pain zone, Ezra. Cozy is patient. In your game, you can make a helpful character to, for example, a small robot that asks about some things and helps you solve a puzzle and is related to an artificial intelligence model. There are uses for it. I don't think for the game I want to make. I think for this, I'd rather not do that. But there's also like, for tutorializations, like there's a great thing. There's a documentary called Indie Game the Movie, where the guy who made, or one of the developers of Super Meat Boy, Edmund McMillan, talks about designing tutorials for games. And I really like his ethos, where he says, hey, if a game has to tell you hold, run, and jump to go far, they're not going to remember it. But if you can teach a player these mechanics implicitly just through the design of the level, where there's no need for dialogue at all, that A, sticks with people more, is not annoying and interrupts the play experience. But B, like, it sticks with you. My bad. Yeah, it sticks with you. So like, part of the ethos for this is I want to make, if I'm going to do tutorialization, I want it to be in a way that's very much doesn't require that, or requires very minimal dialogue. And then as for the character writing stuff, like, I want to, there's a narrative I want to communicate with this game. I think games like Skyrim or whatnot, where there's a set setting and you want to have this feeling that things are existing in their own independent way and you're just stumbling upon it, that'd be a good use case for this. But I think for this game, there's a specific idea I want to explore, a specific narrative I'd like to communicate. And AI introduces this volatility that can, it's unpredictable. So, and because of that, there exists a potential for it to kind of either subvert or, go against what I'm trying to do. And also, like, this game is not like a sandbox thing, but much more like a crafted experience, or at least kind of crafted experience. I mean, we're going to find out, though, right? I'm saying what I want the game to be. We're going to see if it ends up anywhere what I'm describing it to be. If there's one thing I realized, games kind of morph as you make them. So I'm kind of debating how we're going to go about this. If I want to do single save, multi-save, or portable save. I think if we do multi-character, you want to have multi-save. That way you can do multiple characters. Or have a single save that has multiple slots, but it's essentially the same thing. Maybe I can even change it where if this existing place doesn't exist, then we have this a config file for defining where save location. Yeah, I'm a programmer. What do you do? Yeah, I'm a programmer. Do VR software development. Old games were. I remember that introducing mechs that way was something I always add into my own games. Love Skyrim. Top 3 RPGs are Borderlands 2, Diablo 3, and Skyrim. I've only played Skyrim from that list, if I'm gonna be real with you. My repertoire of games I've played is kind of slim pickings. So I've been thinking about either doing the Oblivion remaster or doing Morrowind even. As you do, upon your eureka moments. It's C#. Yeah, I use Unity professionally for VR. That's the money maker. That's what pays the bills. And that's where I got good. That's where I learned a lot. Okay, so what we're doing. Yeah, to figure out what I want to do. There's one other project. Oh, you know what? I had something here. I had a custom overlay I made for the Cozy Cat for streaming on here. And it had a chat integration for Twitch though, so it's not going to work with YouTube. With YouTube, sadly. But I might want to just update that too to work with here with this overlay. I don't know. All right, let's go. Where's Krita? We had this here, but I'm thinking about what we're going to do as far as this door is concerned. Because I like the idea we have for the different types of doors and the layout for this level. And I'm just thinking through what I wish to make. Are we going to make it 2D or 3D? I'm imagining 3D. And have each door be designed differently. So like, oh my goodness, why is it so laggy? I only have Unity and Rider and OBS streaming. Why are you being difficult, game? Yeah, I think I want to do 3D because I want to have the door be, or I can have the door open up. Ooh, that'd be a nice little detail. Like once you get into the presence of this, the door opens up so you can enter. That'd be a nice little detail to animate, actually. So maybe I'll do a little 3D model. Or I may just start with sprite planes and then decide from there. I like this idea though. Like the doors close and then once you get to it, it opens up. That's a little bit of responsiveness, I think. Would be pretty nice. Okay, let's actually do that. Do I have something for these doors? I have level 1. I haven't made this a prefab either, so that's another thing we need to do. And is there no, there's a state transition. level progress card, fog ignorer, which I don't think is applicable anymore because we're using the layers to achieve this effect, so we don't even need this component in the first place. Second of all, though, yeah, I'd rather keep these modular, so we're gonna keep them, make this door behavior, I guess, very nondescript. Did I do the thing? No, I didn't. Let me just do this the way I like doing it. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna put this in here. Whatever. Let's call this door behavior.cs. And then go to writer and then type in door behavior.cs. Oh my goodness, compiling. What's up, Corey Seward? What are we deving today? I just fixed a bug with level transitions, and now I'm gonna make a door behave in a specific way. That's the goal for today. And what are we gonna need? Yeah, I think I'll make a template of this too, so we can swap out the assets. Honestly, I feel inclined to keep it 2D, if I'm gonna be real with you. Because if I keep it 2D, it's easier to swap out the door and the hinge, and I don't know, I could just make it a requirement that everything just be against the wall so you don't see the back of it and see the weird clipping. I don't know, we'll figure it out though. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm doing terrible right now. So what are we gonna do? The only thing we really need to animate is like the door itself. Or I guess hinge would be the way to describe it, because the whole thing is also the door, so it's very confusing. There's a frame and then there's the door, and it's gonna move about the hinge. So really, I need the hinge. Yeah, why am I making this? And maybe animate some stuff, have like a float speed thing. Maybe I just hard code it, because I think everything should behave kind of uniformly. And we need to get an entrance trigger. And then we're gonna do entrance equals oh my goodness, I suck. And then we should probably also require cool. And then we can subscribe to this on player entered. Actually, we need to have a state too. On player entered and exited, we also need that too. Why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? What did I do to deserve this? Oh, because I wasn't using UniRX, that's why. Cool. And then another one from the player exits out. One second, catch up in chat. My bad, guys. I was like, I'm realizing I've been zoned out for a minute. So let me just finish this and then. Ooh, did I not have an event for when the player leaves? Ooh, that's no bueno. Yeah, we can't be having that. Yeah, we have a player event for player entered and player leave, but not the latter. Let's make something for that. Okay, let me look over. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. What's the best language for game dev? Python would be easier, but I have no idea if there are any good games made in Python. How do you make any of this scalable if you're just kind of making up as you go? What do you mean by that? Exactly. Like, you're talking about the language, the design of the overall game, or whatnot? As for game deving, language would be the last thing I worry about. I'd choose specifically engines, especially if you're not as familiar with this kind of stuff. Figure out what kind of game you want to make, and then investigate the engine that'll work best for you. Especially since you don't know much, or if that's what we're starting with, maybe you have knowledge of something else and that'll change it. But if you're starting at a place of like low investment in knowledge to any of these engines, that's like the time where you can really kind of be very mobile and switch things. I guess anyone could switch things, but like, yeah, let's start with engines, and then engines will dictate the language you're using for what you're doing. If you're very technically inclined and you want to like do low-level things and do at that much, I don't know, technical level, you can always try making your own engine, and then in that case you'd be looking at frameworks, or if you want to even use a framework at all, but that's a different thing. But I'd imagine start with investigate your engines and go from there. What's up, Ashis? DS Animations, hell, PC? Nah, it's the greatest PC, man. Probably C++ or C# for game dev, because it's fun. Yeah, CRTs are great, man. That's an Ergodox, Nick. Yeah, I'm glad you dig the colors, man. Melts my brain. Yeah, you get used to it, man. CPM subscribe. Everyone smash that out. Thank you, VG. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And coding, like, you just wrote a function for the entrance trigger for a door. Would that be reused for other things? Yeah, 100%. I mean, this door, no, but it's a very specific thing. Like, you can try to make things very object-oriented, or not only object-oriented, but reusably object-oriented. But at a certain point, you start making, for a game, you're going to require bespoke things anyways. Like, I can make something very specific for triggering, opening, and closing motions of angle rotations, but there's not many things that do that. And if I'm going to use something for that, I'm going to use something like the rotation class I have for specific, for the things I may use that for, which that's a different thing. It has different implications in this. But this is kind of composed of reusable elements. Like, even though I'm making this whole new thing, this entrance trigger is a thing that exists already, which is also using another thing that exists to be very reusable, this trigger events collider. And it's just wrapping it and adding additional specific events that, like, there's a lot of kind of nesting. Like, there's this thing called a trigger collider events. It's a little wrapper I wrote that allows me to use UniRX subject events for collision events instead of having to implement the write overrides for those functions. I could just have this class that hooks into those events, keeps tracks of certain things, and allows me to subscribe to the specific events. That's cool and everything, but there's specific things I'm looking for like entrance triggers, which is a very common thing that can happen, because a player can not only enter an object, but there's a lot of times where a player needs to enter an object and then press button, and then we do something based off of that. So there's two specific things that are very common: a player entering or exiting something, and a player entering and then pressing interact button to trigger something. That's very common, so that warranted the creation of its own class where it adds specific bindings to like this, here we go, this collision, this trigger collider events thing, where we check specifically for collisions against player on entered and then subscribe for these particular events where we may want to pause the player or not, and then listen for a button press when you're inside of that collision. So, like, there's reusable elements that exist already there. This is just one of those things where it's largely just going to be a one-off thing that exists for this. It's one of those robots that's just, your purpose here is to make toast. You butter my toast. That's all you do. And in this case, I realized that this requires an extra vent here, which should be part of this anyways if we're trying to make this robust. So in here, we have what? The companion on player entered invocation. Wait, what? There's a usage. Oh, there is a usage. I'm looking for this. Which, by the way, I have this for a reason. Oh my goodness, I suck. Player. That should just be that. Yep. And on triggered entered subject. Cool, so we're just gonna make a companion to this. Oh, we already have a triggered entered subject. Or exited subject. So I guess I could just invoke this. If I so choose. Entered and selected, yeah. Let me actually check this, because I'm looking at this and I don't feel entirely convinced we're invoking this anywhere. I think just subscribing to it, or I don't think anything's subscribing to this. We haven't. Yeah. So I don't think I've even hooked this in to be used yet. That's interesting. So we just got to add that. And what does this emit? What do you require of me? Yeah, so that's just an empty thing. And then we can do the same thing here on trigger exited subject. All right, let me go back to chat. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Speaking of yeah. On the screen, you just learn to code, Khaled. Without thinking about scaling or using. Guys, a NeoVim? No, I'm just using Writer, but I'm using IdeaVim. You can see a quick render of the game, sure. I mean, you can see how the game's looking. You can see how the game's working. No, I have monitors. This is a choice, not a necessity. This is a choice, not a necessity. If I take the time to make a solution all clean and modular, I'll just forget the name of that script 3 days later. I'm always deluding myself that I'll reuse code. Yeah, I mean, there's some things, very common behavior where I can reuse it, and I end up not forgetting it because, like, I actually use it a bunch. But yeah, I've gone through that other side of being, like, super duper heavy on that, and then it becomes more just complexity for not much gain, so I feel like I have a happy balance so far. I feel like most of the stuff I add to my little dev kit is things I'm actually using. Okay. So let's go back to this though, because we're setting this state based off of. So we're gonna be, I think the easiest way to think about this is that we're gonna have void update, and then this is going to be constantly trying to lerp towards a specific orientation. So like is open, then we're going to do hinge dot rotation, local rotation specifically. That's an important distinction. Quaternion. lerp, and we're going to be lerping from the current one to, I don't know, quaternion.euler. Let's say like on the y-axis. Yeah, I can make this be driven by a game object where we set the orientation, the target orientation for the game object, but maybe I should do that actually. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Since we have a hinge axis, I could just make this like a float value. Y angle degrees. So do you write these modules based on interaction models, and how do you keep track of that? What do you mean keep track of that? Like, there's no keeping track really needed. It's like 2 or 3 components I'm frequently using. This being the third one I'm adding for that kind of thing. And I'm just kind of aware of its existence. Target y angle underscore degrees. Okay, and finally a percentage. I think I have to make this like relative to delta time actually. Yeah, and I think and this would be different. This would be just quaternion.identity. We're going back to that guy. Hopefully there's nothing weird with the double coverage, but I think it should be fine. We should be within the set angle. And then one last thing I need to do is like illustrate what this angle is going to look like. So we need to do something. We have to do, what I'm imagining is we do a on draw gizmos, and we're going to use a matrix relative to the hinge itself, draw an offset to it. We're going to imagine it at the target angle. So what are we going to do? Oh, this is going to be a little bit more of a pickle, isn't it? Because it's going to be... No, it's not actually. I don't think it's going to be that. I think we have to do the local world transformation times the rotation matrix. And that's going to give us our preview in the gizmo. Which should be fine. I don't know, though. Python is cool. AI can do this in 1 second. Not as fun, though. Hackerman, love your setup. Looks awesome. And the person who used AI to do it is legend on his own. I mean, also think about how much it would take for you to describe the AI. Like, designing tight specifications for AI to do the thing you want it to do. Like, in the time of writing specifications, you can kind of just implement this stuff. Honestly, let me just not even do this right now. Let me just test this out. We have our target y angle degrees. Let's just see how this works. About cybersecurity, I really don't have any opinions on it. I'm not skilled enough to even have an opinion about cybersecurity. I have an opinion that cybersecurity is cool. I think the people who deal with that stuff it's very interesting. It's very I don't know. It's a very different problem space and a way of thinking about things than I'm accustomed to. So I have a lot of respect for that. But beyond that, like, my knowledge of cryptography is not as great. Or like reverse engineering or decompilation or using Ghidra and stuff like that. Beyond me, dude. Beyond me. Beyond me. Now, this is going to change our structure a wee little bit. A wee little bit. We're going to have to do create empty. I'm going to call this bad boy a hinge. And then let's position our hinge ideally where we want it to be. No, stop. Don't be weird of me, AI, or not AI, UI. And we're gonna add a little quad. Just to preview how this may look like. Little simple quad, little quad buddy. And I want it to be obnoxiously apparent so I can see it. And then we're gonna set a target Y of like, I don't know. Rotation and the negative axis would be, that'd be negative, right? UI, you frustrate me. That's not a CRT thing, that's just a Unity on Linux thing. Maybe the PyCom is being weird. No, it's positive rotation. Interesting. Okay, never mind. Never mind. So we're gonna just put our target rotation speed of like, not speed, angle of like 40, maybe 80, an obtuse angle. No, that's not obtuse, it has to be 100, more than 180. No, more than 90, I'm done. More than 90. Oh, please don't do this to me. Do the thing. Just do a simple grab thing. Oh my goodness, you're killing me, tearing me apart, Lisa. You're tearing me apart. Okay. Yeah, so you like, I don't know, 100 degrees. Not 1,000, 100 degrees. Save it, run it. Let's find out what happens. I have to go to school. I'll see you guys next stream. It's good to have you here, Samurai. You have a good one, man. My eyes, not gonna lie, techno magic. I appreciate it, chord defect. I almost read that as chord defecation. I was like, that's a wild name. I appreciate it though, man. Thank you. Pardon my little dyslexia. Hey, and it just worked. Are you guys seeing this? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing that it works first try? First try, baby. First try. We got doors doing door things. Oh, joyous day. Another GG's, guys. Yeah, GG's in chat. Let's go. This is how dreams are made. HUD looks very cool. Thank you, Chord Defect. Yeah, I can't really make large code bases. It can make functions and find bugs, but it needs a very narrow scope. It often gets just better to write it yourself. Yeah. I tested it out. Like, I can make AI generate what I want to, but I have to like write such detailed specifications or like skeleton classes to enforce the APIs I want it to implement, that at that point, a lot of times it's just like, I should just implement it myself. Like, I should just probably implement it and it'll be better for everyone involved. Yeah, GG's. Techno Magic. Appreciate it, man. What keyboard is that? It's Ergodox. Akshay. The door hits ya on the way out. That's the dude who said AI could do. That's alright, man. It's alright. That's a funny pun, though. Yeah, I'm not... Yeah. Also, this is for fun, dude. This is our project. For the love of the game, love of making, love of creation. You gotta enjoy creating stuff, right? Let me document what this even does. This animates a door opening when the player gets within activation distance. Hinge location. Perfect. Beautiful. And now I just need to make good art for this door. Which honestly, how are we doing for time? It's 11:44. It's almost... Oh, am I gonna have time to ace-sprite this out? We're gonna have time to do some ace-spriting here. I sure would like to. Let's do a 32 by 32 bit, not bit, 32 by 32 door. I think that's somewhat appropriate. What size is this door even? Now that I think about it. There sure is something here. Oh, I made you too close. Okay, here we go. What's your sprite size, buddy? What size did I make you? Oh, you know, I could just modify. Yeah, it's 32 by 32. I was right. 4.5 is very impressive, but 100% needs a skilled dev behind it. What's Sonnet 4.5? I've never heard of that. Write that down. In my SpongeBob voice when he was talking about to Patrick in that one episode with yes, Squidward. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do some cool stuff here. We're gonna do. Why is this so laggy? What's going on here? What's killing my performance? Is it Krita? Are you killing me, Krita? Okay, you saved. I'm gonna close you. Yeah, save it. Yeah, ideas. Why are you getting on my case about it? I don't think Krita is that bad. Probably the biggest culprit here is Ryder with all its oh no, that's memory though. I don't know what's making this hiccup. Okay, but hey, this seems to be not as bad. Okay, let's do something with this. Let us do something with this. I should have like a cool glitchy effect in here. Instead of it just be white, I should make it like a portal thing. I think that'd be really cool. I'm gonna make this stoned. Okay, 1 second, guys. I need to use the bathroom. I'm feeling nature calling. 1 second. Yo, what's this? We're doing some game deving, man. Good night, Krita. Yeah, get out of here, Krita. It's a de facto AI for programming. Claude Sonnet 4.5 is about 2 weeks old. Interesting. I kind of want to try it out. At the same time, I don't want my code being used by being accessible to companies. It was telling users to like take breaks and keep trying to gaslight users into getting mental health help over nothing. Wait, really? I didn't robots use the bathroom. You didn't know robots use the bathroom. I'm a human. I'm real. I'm not ChatGPT. I'm a person. I can play with Play-Doh. Can AI play with Play-Doh? I don't think so. This is a distinctly human thing. This is the one barrier. They can take our jobs, they can make our art, but they can't do our Play-Doh. They won't take my Play-Doh from us. Alright, 1 second, guys. Also, thank you, Zach Attack. I appreciate it, man. Alright, be right back. I'll use the bathroom real quick. Let me also turn off the mic so you don't hear me using the bathroom. Alright, we're back. We're back. What's up, Ulash? What's an LM? A large language model? Yeah, there you go. Kate got you. Kate's got me. Alright, so 10 more minutes. And then, or I guess about to be 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 5 seconds. And I'm going to call it a stream. So we're going to try to get some art done here. Let's get some art done. I think I want to start working with just establishing the general shape for this. I want to have rounded corners, that's for sure. So this has to be like the apex. Maybe a little bit lower, because I want to have some vines growing from this as well. So we're going to use this as a reference. And then we're going to be deforming stuff from here. I'm going to turn off the mirror modifier. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Okay. Okay, sweet. And let's start defining some of these cobblestones that I'm thinking about. Something about how we're gonna make this feel like it's constructed. So I'm establishing just general outlines, but I'm thinking about having this be lit from this direction downwards, meaning the highlights are gonna be really hitting the stone, probably like here, and I'm aiming to make it feel very matte. Have like the highlights hit more like this, like everything's perpetually side lit. Dude, why is AI Sprite being so laggy? That's what I'm so confused about. Like, let me write this down and save. Like, why are you treating me like this? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna close writer. We're not gonna do any more writing tonight. We're not writing tonight. We're just arting now. Speaking of which, guys, I mentioned I have a Discord, but if you guys have any ideas for emotes in the Discord, I need some ideas. I need to do something. I want to make something. I don't like the default stickers we have. And I haven't done enough pixel animation in a while, so it'll be nice to get back into practice with it. So if you have any ideas for emotes or animations or something for stickers, feel free to either let me know or post it in the ideas channel. There's a good chance it'll come true. We need some culture. We need some culture in the Discord. Right now we're a cultureless mass. Okay, we're starting to get something here. Okay. Starting to get something, but it doesn't feel quite solid yet. I think I need an intermediary color. I'm gonna add some temperature to this. Maybe make it a little bit cooler, like cool stone. As a nice intermediate color. And then I need a darker color. Maybe hue shift this towards purple. Or maybe deep blue. To kind of outline the places where there's going to be seams or cobbles or some of the brick laying out foundations. Maybe a little bit brighter. Yeah, a little brighter sounds right to me. Yeah, let's see how this is going. Yeah, we're just gonna be pushing pixels around until something sticks. Slowly getting towards where we want to be. Now, even for something as simple as this, it still feels nice to be back doing some pixel art. I feel like it's been forever since I've done some streaming of pixel art. I like pixel art. Thank you, Net. Me too. I'm a big pixel art enjoyer. Yeah, I'm not liking that. This doesn't feel like on model, or it doesn't feel like correct in terms of doesn't feel correct in terms of yeah, in terms of proportion, in terms of like how light should be interacting with this object. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. Mostly because it's like already 12, so thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate the company. Until next time, stay cozy, guys.